Hello and welcome back. In this series, I want to go through the entire Elyos campaign. I will not only explain the campaign quests and their meaning for the world of Atreya, but also tell you about all the important characters and their personal story. We will also include special places of interest that you always wondered about. And lastly, I will explain all the dungeons, their backstory, the reason we go and kill everything there, and how we follow up on our tasks after the dungeon. So lean back, relax, and let's start. In the last video, we started our journey as a human mercenary with no memories of our past. We helped the people that lived in Poeta, and even stopped the Kral who planned to open an abyss gate that would help the Balaur invade Elysia. Thanks to the Elim Lord Damino and the Hermit Pernos, we also saw a glimpse of our forgotten past. Although this vision led to more questions than answers, Pernos concluded that we must have been a Daeva of great importance in our past life. So he teleported us to Sanctum, where we did undergo the Ascension ceremony and officially became a Daeva again. Our journey as a newly ascended Daeva continues as we are dispatched to a new region, Verteron. The first thing we do in Verteron is meeting Verteron's Brigade General Spartalos. People say he's obsessed with revenge because the Kral killed his wife and his son, but everyone recognizes that his more direct approach to the problems in Verteron are bearing more fruit than the former general's approach of hiding behind walls and wait for the problems to go away. He tells us that every Daeva should go through this hard training in Verteron, no matter how arduous it may be. But before we go into our first mission, let's see where we landed. The Verteron Citadel. It was here where the first rift had been discovered. It was this rift which started it all. This rift was the one Deltras and the Storm Legion did first go into the Abyss with. Now most people know this part of the lore, and if you do not know it, in the description I will put a link to my playlist that explains the basic lore of Aeon in a few short videos. However, Verteron holds more secrets about the lore of the game, which are not as obvious as the story of Deltras and the Storm Legion. One hint I can give are the Sumian ruins, but we will get to that later. Let's start with our journey in Verteron. As I said before, the famous first big rift still hovers above the village. Sometimes rocks from the abyss fall through the rift and injure people in the Citadel. To get rid of some of these rocks will be our first mission.
Lately, there have been a lot of fragments coming out of the Abyss Gate. I need someone to take care of them, and soon.
It is also fitting that we immediately get to use our newly acquired wings. As we make our report, we hear a guardian complaining about something. The guard heard rumors of strangers loitering near the fortress. His fear is that those strangers are Lepharist Revolutionaries. And this will be the first, but certainly not the last time, we hear about the Lepharists. The Lepharist Revolutionaries are followers of Lephar, and are a faction rebelling against the governments of both the Elyos and Asmodeans. The reasons have something to do with the prophecy of the 13th Empyrean Lord, who is rumored to be their leader Lephar. Sowing seeds of discontent and anger in the population of Atreya, they hope to conquer the world in the name of Lephar. More of that later, but for now, back to our journey. We agree to help the guard and fly around the Citadel looking for their camp. We do not have to search for long as we found a Lepharist camp by the beach. We return to make a report to Spiros, the guard from before. He says we need reinforcements, but he cannot send a request without any evidence. So he gives us the task of killing some of them and collecting their Lepharist badges. After completing this task, the guard Spiros can finally ask for reinforcements from Sanctum, but that is going to take a while. In the meantime, we continue our journey and arrive in the Talbas village, where we immediately hear about the Lepharists again.
Balbua's farm on the Ellen River has been taken over by a band of Lepharist revolutionaries.
They did overtake Balbua's farm and use it as their base. Trying to convert more and more villagers to their purpose, they spread any lies necessary. So we make our way to the farm, and after we killed some Lepharists, we get the information where their leader is. Showing no mercy, we fight our way through the Leparists and kill their leader. On one of the walls of the leader's house is a pinned note that lets us know what the Lepharist's plans in Verteron are. Dear comrades, the time has come. It is time to incapacitate the observatory and weaken the etheric field of Elysia, as Great Lephar has ordered. Comrades in Balbua's farm will raid the Talbos village at 6 o'clock to distract the guards. When the guards gather in the village, our comrades waiting in the Cantus coast will infiltrate the Verteron Observatory. So their plan was to attack the Talbos village as a distraction, so they could take over or even destroy the Verteron Observatory in order to weaken the etheric field that is protecting Elysia. We immediately make our way to the Verteron Brigade General Spartalos and show him the concerning message. Now it is not only a guard, but also the Verteron Brigade General himself asking for reinforcements from Sanctum. What are these guys doing in Sanctum? However, thanks to us killing the leader on the Balbua farm, their plans have been at least temporarily stopped. Maybe that is enough time for Sanctum reinforcements to arrive. For now though, it is time for us to move on, because the Lepharists weren't the only problem the Talbos village had to deal with. North of the Talbos village is the Dukaki settlement, a village of kobolds that served the Tusine Kraal. A guardian named Leto tells you that the kobolds started refining Odium in the Dukaki settlement, and this operation in Verteron is way bigger than the little Odium mining they did in Poeda. First, we need information on how we can shut down the Odium refining operation. So while our scouts are trying to gather information, our job is to go to the Dukaki settlement and kill kobold miners, with the hope that it will at least slow them down a little bit in the meantime. Thanks to some scouts, we get valuable new information. Overseer Ratum, one of the kobold supervisors, has some kind of refining potion she got from the Turzin Kraal. They use only a small amount of the potion and only at certain intervals. Use too much and you neutralize the Odium. Therefore a Turzin Bigmouth rings the bell, so Overseer Ratum knows when to add the potion. Neutralizing the Odium is exactly what we want, so the plan is as follows. Kill a Turzin Bigmouth and get a striking rod from its corpse. Ring the bell so Overseer Ratum appears. Kill Overseer Ratum and take the potion. Pour the entire potion into the Odium cauldrons and neutralize the Odium. After a quick little thank you from Verteron's Brigade General Spartalos, we are again back in the Talbos village. And since we didn't help the village enough yet, Guardian Leto has another problem she needs our help with. Frillnecks.
These Frillnecks I'm sending you to hunt are fast, strong, extremely ferocious, and deadly.
The population in the southern Talbos forest exploded and they are now everywhere. The people are afraid to go anywhere near the Talbos forest, so it is our task to reduce their population. After our return to Leto, we learned that because of an ether imbalance, many problems can occur. In this case, it's mutated animals. A mutated Frillneck named Trandila has been spotted in the Talbos forest. It is laying thousands of mutated eggs, and if we don't do something about it soon, the Talbos village will be overrun by an army of mutated Frillnecks. So our new task is to kill the mutated Frillneck named Trandila. After we killed Trandila and made our report to the guard in Talbos village, they thank us and say that they can take care of destroying the eggs themselves. Now we can finally move on. Well, not really. The Talbos village needs our help one last time. In the southern Talbos forest, the ecologist Giolos needs our help. But that is a bigger and more important quest, which I will cover in the next video. So as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or in our Discord server, and I will make sure to reply and explain. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye!